Ever wondered how a tiny caterpillar, a majestic eagle, and a towering oak tree are all connected? It's like a giant, delicious mystery, and today we're going to solve it. Welcome to our deep dive into the fascinating world of food chains, food webs, and energy pyramids. Get ready to see nature in a whole new way. So, what's on the menu in the wild? It all starts with the sun. Plants, algae, and some bacteria are the ultimate chefs of the natural world. They are called producers because they use sunlight to produce their own food through a process we all know, photosynthesis. Think of them as the power plants of every ecosystem, converting solar energy into edible energy. Every blade of grass, every leaf, every tiny phytoplankton in the ocean is a producer. Next up, we have the consumers. These are the organisms that can't make their own food, so they have to eat other things to get energy. First in line are the primary consumers, also known as herbivores. These are the plant eaters. Think of rabbits nibbling on clover, deer grazing in a meadow, or that caterpillar munching on your favorite tomato plant. They get their energy directly from the producers, but the story doesn't end there. Who eats the herbivores? That would be the secondary consumers. These are carnivores, meat eaters, or omnivores, who eat both plants and animals. A snake that eats a rabbit is a secondary consumer. A bird that eats a grasshopper is also a secondary consumer. They're one step up the chain, transferring that energy further, and you guessed it, we can go even higher. Tertiary consumers eat the secondary consumers. Imagine a hawk swooping down to catch that snake. The hawk is the tertiary consumer. In many ecosystems, there's an apex predator at the very top, an animal that has no natural predators, like a lion, a great white shark, or a bald eagle. They are the kings and queens of their food chain. This simple, straight line of energy transfer from producer to primary consumer to secondary consumer is called a food chain. Grass to rabbit, rabbit to fox. Easy, right? Well, nature is a bit more complicated and a lot more interesting than that. In reality, most animals don't just eat one thing. A fox might eat a rabbit, but it might also eat berries, insects, or a bird. That bird might eat insects and seeds. Suddenly, our simple chain looks more like a tangled, interconnected web. And that's exactly what it's called, a food web. A food web is just a bunch of overlapping food chains. It shows the complex, multiple pathways that energy can take through an ecosystem. It's a much more realistic picture of who eats whom. Now let's talk about the energy itself. When a rabbit eats grass, does it get 100% of the grass's energy? Not even close. A huge amount of energy is lost at each step, mostly as heat during metabolic processes, or because not all parts of an organism are eaten or digested. This is where the energy pyramid comes in. It is a diagram that shows how energy flows from one level of a food chain to the next. The producers are at the wide base of the pyramid, holding the most energy. As you move up the levels to primary consumers, then secondary, then tertiary, the levels get smaller and smaller. This is because only about 10% of the energy from one level is stored in the next. This 10 rule is crucial. It explains why there are so many more plants than herbivores, and so many more herbivores than top carnivores. There's simply not enough energy at the top to support a huge population. That's why you'll see vast fields of grass but only a few lions roaming the savanna. The pyramid shape perfectly illustrates this loss of energy. So, from a single food chain to a complex food web, all governed by the flow of energy shown in the pyramid, we see a beautifully balanced system. Every organism has a role in this incredible transfer of energy that sustains all life. I hope this has given you a new appreciation for the intricate connections in the world around you. If you enjoyed this and learned something new, please hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the natural world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.